Welcome back, everyone. My next couple of guests they're going to be newbies, and I got a little one here right now, a little nervous. He's making me nervous. But I'm going to go right into my next guest, who is TJ Rant, and he is an independent advisor with SPARTA Wealth Partners. Welcome to the show. I want you to tell first a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, Carol, I'm an independent financial advisor, and I help build customized portfolios. I do tax planning. I help with Roth conversions. I help business owners and individuals. I almost feel like I should have been on with the last guest.
Well,
Anna, would have been
fun.
great. It would have been a good conversation.
You guys complement each other for sure. Now let me get some information out, and right off the bat I want to talk about your 2-hour complimentary financial planning sessions, because he gives them their complimentary 2 hours that you sit down and do what you call a financial planning session. Let's talk about those. I'm going to go way different here because you're going to talk to me right from here.
Oh, I appreciate you. And
Go
yeah,
ahead.
part of those 2 hours, what I really get to do is get to know the client first, get to understand your situation, find out if there's any type of opportunities that you're looking to help reduce taxes or maybe increase your portfolio alpha. Those are things that I offer complimentary before we actually build and start our relationship. And I think that a lot of potential clients like that. So it's not like you're starting to bill right on the clock or start billing asset, against their portfolio. So those 2 hours are really beneficial for clients.
Now, when you work with people, you say that you work valley-wide.
Yeah.
Now, do you come to them? Do they come to you? How do you like to do that?
Oh, that's a great question. So yes, I come to you either in your living room or your kitchen, or we go out to coffee or lunch. The reason I have that set up is because, a lot of the bigger firms have these ivory towers and super nice offices, right? And they charge you real high fees. But being that I work independent and out of my home office, I can reduce those fees and actually offer a better service for you.
It's nice when somebody comes to you as well, and you get to know them. And right now, I think what the first thing that you said is you want to get to know the clients and their stories, and that's what it starts with. Now, what is one of the biggest mistakes or pitfalls that you see investors make along the way?
Well, I got to tell you, Karen, I think it was the last client or the last guest that was on. Roth conversions without really understanding what those details are, or rushing to sell securities and down markets, kind of like we've been in the last couple of weeks. And I think without that real good financial plan and that strategy set in place, people just make big mistakes and they don't understand really what that can do to them.
So here's what I have to say too, is about the fact that yes, she was talking about somebody that had that mistake, but you and her are married. It's good to know that you have your CPA and your financial advisor that are in communication and know what they're doing together, so that it's not like, here's what a mistake that they could possibly, this person, whoever it was, did that.
100%.
Right.
I would say a lot of investors out there think that there's no value in advisors because, hey, you get charged a 1% or 2% fee on your assets under management. But when it really boils down to those huge mistakes, whether that be you sold too early or you did a huge Roth conversion, that 1% you pay to an advisor is next to nothing when you're sending Uncle Sam hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure. Now, most people only have 401ks and aren't experts in the stock market. How do you, as an advisor, help those folks with only 401ks?
That's a great question. So it's actually something unique to my independent practice in SPARTA Wealth Partners. We actually can help folks with a financial planning fee where we go on a monthly or a yearly cost. And that way we can actually help, sit on the same table with you as a fiduciary and help you go through your 401k and actually pick out the right funds and talk to you long term. Many advisors out there will not help with 401ks or folks that only have them because there's really no way to bill against those assets. But if you have a financial planning fee and somebody that works with you along the way, you're going to probably be much more successful in the long term.
The phone number to call is 480-580-3058. He's valley-wide. He does 2-hour complimentary financial planning sessions. You can check him out on his website. It's SPARTAWealthPartners.com. So I want to say that again because it's different. So it's SPARTA WP SPARTA.com, right? And then he comes to you. That's the other thing, is he comes to you. Now, let's go back to some of these questions. So I've heard of the term fiduciary, okay? Tell them a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, what a fiduciary really means when you boil it down, and you know, it's really kind of silly that these different terms are out there. I would think everyone should be a fiduciary, right? But the reality is not all advisors are, and not all broker-dealers, you know, those really large ones you hear, the really big banks that are out there, I won't name them, but they usually will just stick to selling their own products. But a fiduciary really has your best interest at mind. So I don't put my fee or my interest above the client. Every single thing that I do is with the client's mind first.
You would think that everybody would have to, but they don't. And
You
it's
would,
very
but
important.
it's not.
Right, and so that is a question that you should be asking your financial advisor. Are you a fiduciary?
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if you're not working with one yet and you want to, that's a perfect question to ask them. What are your thoughts then on insurance, and how does it fit into the overall financial planning with your clients?
It's very important, and you know, insurance planning is a real huge piece, because you know, a lot of folks have kids, they have spouses, they have businesses, they have other things that, you know, hey, if your income or you're no longer around, that they would not be able to supplement that. Not all insurance is for everyone, right? You hear of the annuities or the whole lives and things of that nature, and some of those products may fit for certain clients, but even boiled down to term life insurance, you know, something very small. But I do offer those services, and when I look at my financial planning as a whole, that's where it really falls into place.
Well, to me, I think it is the whole picture.
Yeah.
And that does fall into asking about those things and seeing if most people, I would think, would want to cover their assets, okay? Well, I think that's really important, right? And to make sure that they take care of their family as well, especially if they have this money, right? To make sure that they're taking care of everybody.
Yeah, and it's neat that I can offer all those services in one house. Instead of having me refer you out to other ones, like, you know, hey, this guy does this, or this guy only does the wealth management piece.
Again, he does a 2-hour complimentary financial planning session. He comes to you. His phone number is 480-580-3058. It's Sparta, WP. That's for wealthpartners.com. Now, real quickly, because we only have a couple of minutes, so I wasn't able to get to all of it, but you mentioned working with clients on tax planning. What exactly does that mean, and how does it work exactly?
So with tax planning is really like our guest prior, right, with Anna, is if you're wanting to do a major thing, like, hey, convert a huge chunk of your traditional IRA into a Roth, you want to have that planning up front, right? Because I might tell clients that they can do all of it in a year that they just retired and there's no income, or maybe they can only do 10,000 or 20 or something of those natures. That's how I take the planning in the full breadth. But I also offer other products like bonus depreciation or oil and gas funds that'll help offset a lot of those income.
Well, the only way you're going to know is if you have a consultation and sit down. And first off, they call you, kind of talk a little bit about what their needs are, and then you set up that time?
Yeah, exactly. So it's usually 2 hours, with 1 hour being the get to know you, get to know your situation.
And then dive deep.
Yeah, and then the second hour is really where I get to follow up and say, hey, here's the plan, here's what we can do, and here's what would happen if you were a client and when we can bring you on.
He is valley-wide, and so he comes to you. He does these 2-hour complimentary financial planning sessions. You can check him out on his website. It's Sparta, WP for Wealth Partners, so SpartaWP.com. You can call him. His phone number is 480-580-3058. And if you are into financial planning and you've got your 401ks, or if you've got your IRAs, everybody, listen up. Make sure you go to a fiduciary. Again, that number is 480-580-3058, and that is exactly what he is, and that's what he's going to bring to you. Again, that phone number is 480-580-3058.